But we can't just stay at the red pill, bro. I'm telling you, it's gonna turn. It turns toxic. You overdose.
What up, YouTube? I am your host, Mediocre Tutorials and Reviews, back in here with yet one more video. Joined here today by a very special returning guest, my bro, Sam.
What's good, baby?
Hey, man, it's good to
Happy
have you
New
back.
Year, y'all.
Happy New Year.
2020. We gonna get to it.
We're going to get to it. We about to get right in it because they probably already looking at the title of this video like, no, this motherfucker did it.
I'm coming for all the. I want all the smoke. Yeah. All you red pill bastards out there.
Listen, so
fucking up the game.
I think I'm gonna name the video something like, this is why you should not be MGTOW, right? And so first, to start off the video, I want to have a definition of it because I see a lot of different definitions that go from MGTOW is someone who doesn't bang with women at all. So, right, so that's like level 3 MGTOW to level 1 MGTOW is someone who understands female nature but they still pull up with the bullshit. Level 2 is you understand it and you use it to your advantage. So like there's these different levels of it. So it's really, when I say that, we're really gonna be talking about level 3, which is not messing with it at all, because honestly level 2 can be described as also purple pill as well. I've also heard definition of purple pill where you are privately red pill, but externally you're blue pill, or vice versa. I heard that is the definition of purple pill as well. But there's an idea of like what red pill is, and it's a wide range of things. But the highest level is being able to step outside of the matrix, to look down on it and understand the basic components of female nature. But sometimes I like to say human nature as well. So, but the point that we wanted to talk about today is mostly the level 3 versions of the MGTOW, which is the dudes that completely go their own way.
Versus like the level 2, which is kind of where I'm at. I don't really subscribe to the whole red pill things. If you watch The Matrix, in the end, he has the ending, it's a blend between the machines and the humans. So he really wasn't out the Matrix. It's about harmony. That's why it's about purple pill. So we're going to dead this red pill, because y'all out there on the internet have lost y'all ever-loving mind. The way y'all talking about women, the way y'all review things. I got to save y'all. It's my duty.
Listen,
I'm Neo.
Are you Neo?
Maybe Neo.
Neo?
I don't know either.
All right, so
and
just to be when you say red pill, you mean the extreme levels of red pill.
Yes, I feel like we can't continue to, go into red pill, watch this stuff and not address it, bro. I think it can be toxic for real. People overdose on red pills, bro.
Yeah, well, I think like the point of it that is too far for me is the ones that completely demonize women for everything. And that you bring up any type of subject or topic and it's a woman's fault for one reason or another. Yeah, right. Like
that's some sucker shit. That's not even being an alpha male. That's not being a red pill. You just a bitch.
Yeah, we'll talk about it, bro. So if you chose to be purple pill, tell them from your perspective why you chose to do it, and then what are the benefits for you.
So if we're going with the concept of the Matrix and you're trying to get out the Matrix and have the red pill, every man goes to that period where they're like nice guy and all that stuff. It doesn't work. You should be about yourself, your purpose. Enriching yourself and investing in yourself. And that's the red pill. That is the release. But you can't stay in the state of, okay, now that you're free of all of it, some of you turn bitter and like sort of like, oh yeah, women out here, they don't know what they want. I'm not getting married. I'm not doing all that. And I feel like that's kind of toxic, right? So that's why I just go purple pill. Yeah. Yes, red pill and like on the inside. Like I understand that I need to put myself first. I need to make sure that I'm good so I can take care of everything else and that I can attract what I want, right? I understand that. But I'm not out here, being toxic, degrading women, talking about they don't know what they want, they're confused, they need to be led, all that. All that kind of stuff, I think is where the red pill goes too far. And I think you should portray a blue pill. Someone who is, I understand what your needs are, empathetic. And that's where I think is the major key. We need to have empathy.
Well, let me pause you real quick right there, because I don't agree with some of the things that you were just saying. I think the problem that I have is when you get people that are the all police. Yes, some, if not a large majority of women are confused, in my opinion.
Like, you don't find that to be derogatory or judgmental or like...
Let me also say the other side of that sentence. There's a lot of men that are confused. Okay. They are confused. There's humans that are confused.
That's better.
And well, it don't matter if it's better or worse. So even if I say one side of the coin, it doesn't now assume that I don't agree completely that the other side of the coin is not also there. So I think,
but I think it needs to be said though. It's assumptions. Right? When people can take away whatever their perspective is from what you just said.
If they assume things based off of a half truth that I said, right? Like if I say the cup is half full, does that then mean that I don't believe sometimes that the cup is half empty? Like I feel like, people take conversations sometimes and then they bake in their own preconceived notions and then determine how they want to feel about you based off of things that are not said. And sometimes even the things that they hear you say, they get into their emotions and feelings and then take that topic, spin it around, and then flip their own spin on it.
But you don't feel like because you have a platform, it's your duty to make sure you cover all sides and explain, like, hey, not only do I think women are confused, I think men are confused and humanity is confused. Well, you don't feel like that's necessary? Because sometimes you can get from your platform you just make this blanket statement, and so like this dude doesn't even...
Well, so when
you can't get the full.
Well, see, my thing is that it's not a blanket statement. So if I say one side of the coin, it doesn't blanket everybody. I mean, I say all the time, like there's components of human nature that need to be talked about, right? There's components of dudes who live lives where they feel like, the more aggressive that she is, the better, because it shows how much she loves me. There's women that feel like, I need to provide for a man, right, and mother him into, these relationships, right? Like there's confusion on both sides of the coin. And I think that like media is one of the main culprits for that. Like, I talked about this live stream the other day. I was watching Love and Hip Hop. It's funny. I joke on the channel about Love and Hip Hop. I've never watched it.
It's trash.
And I did a video on April Jones, and one of my Patreon supporters asked me to do the April Jones Omarion situation. And I watched the season finale, and I'm just like, yo, that's the way that they're portraying us. And it's crazy because it's a lot of editing, but it's actual human beings that are portraying themselves like that. But it's like they're doing it for some type of end goal or some type of outcome.
Controversy sales.
For bags.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I understand what you're saying, and it's very powerful what you do with the platform. But I'd argue that a degree of this platform right here, like if there was a scale of, male ideology and female ideology, I'm somewhere more balanced, but I still tip on the side of male ideology.
Well, you're a male. That's why you have other people come on with their opinions as well. You give opportunity.
Absolutely. So we have feminists up here, the whole thing. But at the same time, it deserves challenge, right? Like, so I appreciate you saying getting the other side of the coin, but I also don't want, right? So like there was one thing that you said before, and it was like, in order to have empathy, that's a blue pill characteristic. I disagree with that.
Okay.
I disagree with that. I think a part of being an intelligent person is to understand not even just like knowledge intelligence, but also having emotional intelligence. They call that EQ as well. And I think that characteristic is irrespective of blue pill learnings or red pill learnings or or this, that, or in between. I think what won't help us, and this is what I see that's happening on YouTube, is that you have two forces, right? We, hashtag what's this World War III shit that's happening.
Oh man, we'll talk about that later.
But with the dating stuff, you have these two forces, right? You have the red pill type MGTOW knowledge and the far extremes of it and the outliers of it, and then you got the other side of the coin where women are saying, don't date him unless he makes this amount of money.
The Dusties, the Queens,
and he doesn't provide me this.
The Shiras.
And the Ashas, the Shiras, and the ones that's in between. So the thing is that if you have these corners of the internet that are promoting and they're not communicating with each other, then what happens?
You're polarized.
Or battle.
Battle, right. But it's kind of like it's kind of like a real life example of what's going on in our country. It's polarization. People go to their sides. Nobody's trying to come in the middle. Nobody's trying to understand the other side. And I think your platform allows for people to see both sides. Even if you do come through forcefully, no. Emotions are stupid. You know, I love when you say that.
I think that, like, you know, it's our opinion and shit, and like I appreciate any opinion that comes up here and let's have a conversation about it. But I do think that some opinions are more true than others. And my opinion is that if you take your ball and you go into your corner and you don't at least try to focus in the solutions, and instead you complain about the challenges, you are a waste of space. You are not helping.
You're a complainer.
You're a complainer. You just
that's the red pill side. So we'll go back.
No,
to
it's not. No, well, you keep saying that.
Yeah,
I don't think that's red pill.
I'm just saying from my perspective. I'm not saying that this.
That's
is
level 3 MGTOW. But go ahead.
Listen. This is MGTOW. Like, this is why I see a lot of your maybe subscribers and people who kind of, you know, believe in this red pill MGTOW. They sound like they complain. They bitch. They complain.
Well, okay.
Like,
so, like, you're talking about the comment section.
Comment section or anybody. A lot of times I watch some of these videos and I'm like, the dude is just complaining about women. Like, he sound butthurt.
You mean the reaction videos?
Yeah, reaction videos, or even if you look up MGTOW, sometimes I look at them and they were like, don't do this to a woman. Don't let them do that. Don't open no doors. Don't do all this. And it's a lot of anger and it feels like a lot of bitch assness.
We should do a reaction video to one of my reaction videos, like at some point, because I feel like it's a tough discussion to have unless we go to a specific video and then call out a specific way that someone's talking about something. Because I'd argue there's a lot of things that people don't want to hear because it doesn't make them feel good. So instead of attacking the knowledge or the information that's being said on both sides of the coin, and combing it with the fine-tooth comb and saying, okay, what about this can I take out and put into my toolkit, and what about this is just making me feel angry because I don't agree with it, right? And I think that, like, no matter what, if the intention of the content creator is to do something that has bad intentions, right, that has scamming tactics in it.
I mean,
right?
but that's sales, right? The likes, there's a part of it that they have to be a little bit overboard.
There's a low integrity of it that I agree with you.
However, because if you got to talk real, it's going to draw people.
But however, the low integrity stuff, I get you. But there's also a subset of news, knowledge, and information that has reigned true in my life, and I don't want to combine the two together and just act like we can't have a conversation about it.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do. I think there's a low hanging fruit, and then there's definitely some high value truth that can actually help people through the MGTOW, freeing people. But we can't just stay at the red pill, bro. I'm telling you, it turns toxic. You overdose.
Okay.
On red pill, and people out there dying, and they can go on YouTube. You can go on Twitter, whatever. Twitter fingers or whatever. But in real life, I bet none of y'all really making wins out there for real. It's not setting people free, bro. I don't think it's really helping people, bro.
So the thing is, I think life's about balance, bro. I said this on a live stream the other day. You drink enough water, you'll get water poisoning. If you drink too much, right? You can overdose on water. Google it. Look it up.
True
right?
Story.
You can't. I understand what you're saying. I think the overdose is of red pill is, I'm gonna take my ball, go into my court, and not even have conversations with them. But
that's when you turn butthurt.
But I do think that, and we live in a culture of being overmothered and underfathered. We have been taught things about how to talk to women, how to date women, what they actually find attractive, which they don't find attractive. And even in dating them, they will tell you that, hey, this is what I'm attracted to. And they get too much of it, and then they don't like it. They don't like it.
So there needs to be a correction.
So there needs to be a correction.
And proper information.
And proper information.
But how we go about it in 2020 is clarity, bro. We can't continue to just spew this stuff without somebody like having this conversation.
Yeah. Needs
to be reviewed.
Yeah.
Red pill needs to be reviewed. That's just all I'm saying.
I think it all is subject for review, bro.
You always think that way. Anyway, so let's go back to it. And so when you think of a red pill or MGTOW person, could you explain to me, what that person was, attributes, characteristics?
Well, listen, I think a majority of the people that find information like this or goes to search on Google and then comes across, a channel like this or a channel like, all these red pill, whether it be from like a AMS to like a Black Ram to a whatever, name the content creator. I think that it's those that have experienced something in a relationship that led to some sort of breakdown or like a time for them to go and gather knowledge.
So let me pause you. So you can't just, watch this and have red pill. Somebody that's actually experienced something in society, and then they like, yo, had this like, awakening, like bright flash of reality.
Usually, and then the thing is that so they come across the knowledge and they start to understand things about nature. Specific to Redpill is more things about female nature and kind of how you should act, or things about your frame, right? Like maintaining your masculine manhood as you're having and not being a simp and a follower and a just someone who doesn't proactively work at their why in life, right? Like all of these basic concepts that, you know, if you didn't have a strong,
it's a lot of things.
Like all of these basic concepts, if you didn't have a strong person in your life, you were not able to learn, right? So like, and the beautiful thing is there was a period in our history where if no one taught you, you might have been shit out of luck. Now you have YouTube. Now you have the internet. Now you can go up on and see and meet content creators with receipts that will show you this is how I did it and these are the ways that I did it in order to make sense. So that's how I think a lot come across it. Now there's a period of red pill rage where you're like, you're just like, oh, this is what this is? This is how I should act? This is how I... But I agree with you. There's a overconsumption, but anything that you overconsume, you work out too much in the gym, you overtrain. You watch too much porn, and your nerves become desensitized. You do too much of anything, and it's too much, overboard. So my thing is
moderation is key in that.
It's key. So it's like, number one, don't be a complete follower of everybody. Don't just listen to what we're saying.
That's what the whole channel is about, like reviewing it. The fact is, like, if you're a follower, you're not practicing really the alpha male or whatever it is anyway. We do this so we can have different opinions and we can actually come to some sort of understanding. And the more information we have, the better it all is in the end.
Yeah.
But I do have to disagree with you kind of on your totality. You're putting in the red pill, masculinity, purpose-driven, all of that. And I'm not sure that red pill is all that combined. I mean, we can talk about being masculine. We can talk about your purpose-driven and finding your purpose, and, you know, self-help books and all that stuff like that.
Well, that's my definition of red. That's why so when I start off, I said there's a large range of what people consider red pill. Okay. And you'll see that people down in the comment section from anywhere from women ain't shit all the way to why you guys all mad at this? Like, we understand that, like, you know, she might have multiple options in her DM list. Like, why are y'all mad about that? I'm way more towards that side of red pill. And understanding, and also having the empathy to understand that some dudes ain't shit.
We're gonna talk about that. We got
man. Like, listen, I had a live stream yesterday, and then was interacting with my guest afterwards, and was telling me some situations that she had gone through, and I'm just like, God, damn, damn, you know what I'm saying? And she's a sweetheart, right? And you know, so it is what it is. So I understand what you're saying, and. But I'd argue there's components and wisdoms to be learned.
But you think the red pill is still a very good thing?
But again, you have to shorten your definition.
Okay, I'm not trying to box you in, but I'm saying in general, like the fact that you've come across MGTOW, learned about it, you relate to it, and you're actually trying to help people and help other men like understand, like, yo, this is something that you really need to kind of look at and process. Take the red pill. Well,
you should always understand much more than what society, your culture, Disney tells you. You should always understand, right? Like you should always seek. You know, this is the same thing as whether or not you had a big brother growing up, or whether or not there was someone on the block that was a mentor to you, or it's this, that person had knowledge, right? Like, and if you got knowledge from the wrong sources, if you're a young man and you grew up with a bunch of aunties, most likely your ideas of how to date effectively are ineffective.
Right, because you don't have that masculine presence, and you weren't shown, and you have lack of information, ignorance. And if you're ignorant, you're prone to...
It sounds like you now agree with me.
No. So
you want all the smoke.
So, no, I mean, I want all the smoke. First of all, I think when you have somebody that doesn't have information and you put them with the wrong information, that could be just as devastating.
Okay.
So especially if somebody's in a vulnerable spot.
So give me some examples.
So examples that I'm not saying that this is exactly what everybody in Red Pill talks about, but like females' emotions are weak. or weaker or something that makes someone less. Logic is greater than emotions, right? I've heard that.
A man should. Okay, let me back that up. A man should rely in his logic way more than his emotion ever. And in fact, what plagues people that look like us, black men that look like us, is black men who are in their feelings, in their emotions, and have gut reactions to stimuli.
Agreed. Okay. So I agree. I agree with this. Logic should be, for as men, should be. If we're about anybody, I think you should use logic more. I mean, humans, period. Be more logical instead of reactionary. But emotions have a very important place. And when you go to Red Pill and you become sort of emotionless, I don't know if y'all seen The Witcher. Shout out to The Witcher. I'm like geeked out real quick.
The Netflix or the video
Netflix
game?
joint.
Okay.
Because he's supposed to have no emotions. But anyway, on another thing.
I played the video game. Anyway, continue.
True. I'm trendy. I just watch whatever's on. Mandalorian, Netflix. It don't matter. Anyway, what I'm saying is, what you're doing is you're cutting yourself off from an important ability that we all have. And that's to emote and to understand emotions and to be able to, get angry or to get sad or to, feel rejection. All these things, it's like I remember we were talking about like kids who say like, you can be anything you want to be, and you can pass the next grade no matter what, even if you can't read, because we want you to feel good, and definitely whatever the case may be. That's too much, right? Like good feeling. At the same time, you need to feel failure, you need to feel rejection. But if you don't feel
those are not emotions.
What are they?
Those are
feelings. They're feelings.
Well, no, it's not. So here's so I had a question on the channel about aggression versus anger, and those are very different things. Anger is an emotion.
Okay.
I still maintain that don't rely on your emotions. You will feel the emotion, but don't act in anger. And here's the difference between that and aggression, because you think of the chemicals that run through both of us, and there being testosterone, and testosterone is linked biologically to more aggressive characteristics. That's part of being a man, is that you have more aggressive characteristics. But aggression, you can show aggression without anger.
Correct.
Anger, again, is the emotion. Aggression is a response to stimuli. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes perfect sense.
It's not,
what I'm saying is,
an emotion.
I think anger is still important to be able to get angry, to understand like how it feels to be angry.
Yeah.
It actually can trigger a change in the understanding. You can be aggressive. I can be aggressive playing basketball. Yeah. Right? Trying to win the game. I can be aggressive,
but not angry.
But not angry.
Yeah.
But when I'm angry, sometimes I have to step back and just because I'm so mad, and then I felt all this, and I made a bad decision. But now I'm able to learn from it because I got to that point where I was angry.
I'd argue you should never be angry.
And that's what I'm afraid of. That you come so to the point where you never experience these things.
What's the benefit of being angry at somebody or being angry at a situation? Name one benefit.
What's one benefit of being angry? You recognize when something hurts you. You're not out there like numb to stuff, right? All right. So when you get angry, right? Somebody makes you mad, right? It allows you to.
The quicker that you get over that, the better for yourself.
Right, but you got to get to that point,
and as well as the other person in the situation.
Right, but I know a lot of people who don't even get angry, don't even feel it, and it builds over time.
Yeah, but that's not being angry. That's letting anger build up and holding it inside until you shoot up a school. Well, that's the definition of anger. I don't want to talk about the shoot up. But that's the definition of anger.
Whether or not I'm saying, but getting angry, there is a purpose to it.
What's the benefit?
I didn't say what's the benefit. There's a purpose. And that helps. It's a recognition of something that affects you.
If there's no benefit in your life, then don't do it. It's just
I think it might be a benefit, and I have to actually think about it because we kind of got off subject. But I do think there's a benefit to being angry.
You know what anger looks like? Love and Hip Hop reunion season finale. That's anger.
And why do they get views?
Listen, they're monetizing bullshit that's having an impact. You know what I feel bad for? Anyone that looks like me, that's 30 years younger than me, that come across that TV show, and they're watching that, and they're watching that in a way that shows that how a young woman is watching how these young women are fighting, screaming, and think there's a degree of normalcy within that.
Yeah,
and I don't think that there should be. I think a large component of the problems of folks that look like us in our interpersonal relationship is these kind of deep seeds of anger and not letting it go. Now, if I pose a question to you, what's the benefits of being happy? Motherfucker, we could talk all day.
Yes.
I don't think that there's any benefits. And in fact, I've worked a lot in my life to try to control, and I'm still going to be angry at certain things.
You're telling me that's what I was going to get to.
Like someone cuts me off in traffic, I'm going to feel some type of way, but I've been working on like a monk mode to a degree of understanding where I am, being happy for where I am and the accomplishments that I have, and understanding that little situation of road rage really doesn't make a lot of difference in my life as long as I still have my hands on the steering wheel and I'm traveling down that road.
Yeah, that's control.
In fact, me reacting in anger, cutting them off, flipping them off, hitting my windshield wiper fluid on.
But you still got angry though. Reacting, I'm not talking about reaction.
So you should respond.
But I think you need to be able to feel anger and need to be. If you go through life and become monk mode,
but responding. That's
the next step.
But responding without anger
is important.
It should be what you rely on.
Totally
and you can
agree.
come to that with a logical, rational understanding.
Totally. But you have felt anger. You need to understand when stuff makes you angry. It's an emotion that you need to have. Now, I didn't say how you react to it or how you, after you get angry, what you do. Then you need to control that because that's where the logic kicks in. But what I'm afraid is some of these red pill guys, I'm not going to be emotional. I'm not going to be angry. I'm not going to let nothing affect me. And then what you go through is somebody that's numb, who can't feel anything because they've gone to a point where they're like, no, it's not him. So when somebody passes, or like your grandmother or mother passes, are you gonna feel sad? Like, or is that feminine, or is that weakness? And I think that's when it becomes toxic.
I think my goal in life is to remain unbothered. And there is nothing that's going to try to change that. I notice I'm happier in life the more that I remain unbothered. I am, I feel better. I sleep better. I think better. I understand what you're saying to a degree.
And that's what I'm afraid the red pill overdose is, bro.
But I think like even the way that you articulate it, there's no benefit, there's no purpose, there's no way. So, but
I need a chance to come back on that one.
But I think
let me go back and do some research because I want just to talk about
the
something
comparison of red pill to not feeling anger. I think is a stretch, right?
I think it can be if it goes too far. Mm-hmm. And this is why I'm coming on this. This is what we're talking about right now. I'm pushing back against red pill overdose, pretty much. People that just go into MGTOW,
I agree
pill,
with you.
And it's gone too far.
But remember the question, it was, what are the components of the knowledge of red pill that you feel like is detrimental to red pill dudes? And I agree with you.
Right, that's the component that goes too far.
Too much of anything, it's going to be bad. But the one that you brought up was feeling...
the emotions of anger and emotional stuff.
Right.
Being numb to that type of stuff.
Right. And I think like a part of red pill is understanding that, listen, as a man, as a leader, as a constituent amongst your network that people look up to, it's not someone who has these shifty emotions. You're up one day, you're down one day, you're cold with someone one day, you're hot with someone the next day. It's someone who remains true, consistent, full of integrity, and you can rely on that person day after day because of the consistency and the rationale and the logic and the analytical capabilities that they've shown.
And leadership roles and things like that. When we talk about something relating and being able to relate to people, and this is happening because I'm in the medical field, and when I'm trying to rate, I need to be able to empathize. And I need to understand why somebody's angry, and I need to understand how I would feel if I would be angry. In order to do that, and to make that connection, that true impact. So yeah, when you're leading people and stuff like that, you don't need to be up and down and stuff like that. But when you're trying to make a connection to somebody and make an impact, you need to be able to understand anger. And why somebody, she's acting crazy, like maybe she's hurt, maybe she got cheated on, maybe she thinks, maybe her dad wasn't there. You need to be able to understand this to be able to...
understanding it is having empathy. We never touched on empathy.
Right, but empathy is what I'm talking about. When red pill goes too far and you lose empathy. I think I said that at the beginning.
I understand what you're saying, but no, we were talking about emotions. Which is different than having empathy, because you can be a leader has empathy always and truly.
Well, how do you get to empathy?
Because they understand emotions.
Empathy.
Yeah, but I don't need to display emotions.
I didn't say display. That's what I'm saying. That's why I need to be very clear.
Understanding it is not the same as displaying. Listen,
I'm talking about feeling anger and emotion. I'm not saying you have to display it. I'm not saying you have to react upon it. I'm saying if the red pill goes too far and you lose the ability to be, there's people out here they're not very empathetic, right? They get to a certain point in their life, whatever, traumatized, or they even might be so successful that I don't really feel any empathy for, you and your problems. I don't care. Like, that's when it's gone too far. You need to always maintain a level of empathy, and to do that, you need to have emotions, and you need to feel these. You need to have these experiences like anger, sadness, happiness.
I think there's a couple of things.
Not letting that control you is something totally different.
So I think what's happening is we're going on different parts of the conversation and pulling back data that is not linking up. So I always said you need to have empathy. That's something that I always push on this channel, and understanding what is happening around you to be able to make a well-informed decision, right, and not a robotic decision,
right.
When I talk about what plagues the black community, it's not empathy. You understand that? So there's a difference in understanding empathy and having understanding, which is empathy of emotions, and then a difference of displaying emotions, love and hip hop. The displaying of emotions is where we started the conversation. Now you've transitioned into empathy.
Well, no, we started a conversation about red pill and what I feel like is the detriment if it goes too far.
Right, which is displaying. Right,
so which is not having emotion and having empathy. But get to that point where you are robotic.
So, what I'm saying is that no one in red pill says that empathy is not good. That seems to be your argument. No,
my argument is
I don't say that. I always say empathy is something that you need to have.
I'm not saying that you say it, but I'm saying it can lead to a point where people are not experiencing those emotions because they view it as maybe a feminine emotion or a weak emotion, and it's important to experience emotions and to understand how that links to having empathy for other people, and that's understanding and to be able to relate to people. If you don't, I feel like you become robotic. You lose a part.
I think it's never healthy to suppress emotions.
Okay. So I think we gotta agree on that.
I don't think it's healthy, and it can build up. But what I'm saying is, being unbothered is not suppressing emotions.
Right.
There's
so
a clear difference.
We can talk about being unbothered. That's
but I want you to understand. Like, there's a clear. I want you to understand, bro. There's a clear difference. There's a clear difference because they could be the same thing, the same road rage situation that happens, and there's someone that can suppress that feeling, and then it explodes later on.
Right.
But then there's other people that understand the situation and just move a little bit differently because they understand that it may not be as important as which you have.
How you react to it?
Y'all are both rolling in 4,000 to 5,000 pound vehicles, like to cut each other off after. Just move on. Life is way far and be more important.
That's when the logic overrules your emotions.
That's when logic overrules emotions.
All right, so I agree with that.
Okay.
But again, I'm concerned that if we continue down the red pill without recognizing that you still need emotions, some of that blue pill sort of like.
I think you need empathy. I don't think you need emotions. That's what I disagree with you on.
Okay, maybe I don't see how you have empathy without emotions, but that's
we're gonna have to agree
to disagree.
My dude.
Always
and forever. Yo. Questions, comments, concerns. Bring them on to smoke.
Yeah.
I know he wants it.
I'm ready. It don't bother me now. It don't affect my paycheck.
or bring me to smoke. Whatever. It depends on, what your side of the coin is. But this is the reason why I love to do this. Just to have a clear, coherent, and consistent conversation in a way that promotes the culture forward. Anything? You got any social media? You want to drop anything before we go?
Yo, I will in another video.
Another video?
But I think you just subscribe right now and you should review it and have the conversation amongst your friends, and you come back. Like, Redpill is definitely the way to go, or maybe somewhere in between, or nah, man, both of these dudes just don't know what the hell they talking about.
Big facts.
But hit the subscribe button.
Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, share, all of that good stuff. Until next time, YouTube.